Officially call City Council meeting for November 13th, 2025 to order. We can all please rise for the national anthem, for the pledge, sorry.
You want?
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Say that.
I think
Plan commission. But
All right,
come to
so-
because I help you.
I'm going to start the meeting this evening by giving you guys the results of the election. We had in total 357 votes cast at the November 4th election. 124 of those votes were in person. 233 of those votes were cast AV ballot for a total of about 13.24% of our voters that came out to vote. We have 2,696 registered voters. That's where that came from. All right, and the two positions that were the two people that were elected, thank you, into those positions, Rose Powell and Lisa Atchison. So I'm going to give them their oaths first, and then we will continue from there. So Lisa, if you would like to stand first, I will give you your oath. Yeah. So I will just go ahead and read this, Lisa, and you can just say I do at the end. Okay. Yep. I, Lisa Atchison, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the City Charter and Code of Ordinances for the City of Cedar Springs, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of City Council member to the best of my abilities. All right. Rose, you are next. I, Rose Powell, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the City Charter and Code of Ordinances for the City of Cedar Springs, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of City Council member to the best of my abilities.
I will.
All right. So now I'll have you guys sign these in a minute. I'll have you guys sign them in a minute. I am going to open the floor for nominations for mayor. Does anybody have any nominations? Rose.
I'd like to nominate Lisa.
Lisa, would you accept? Okay. Nominations. Okay, I'm going to call a vote. I will close the floor for nominations if there are no others at this time. Mr. Gross.
Yes.
Ms. Conley.
Yes. Yes.
Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Race.
Yeah.
Ms. Atchison.
Yeah. No, Alice.
Oh, sorry. Ms. Brady.
Yes.
I will now turn the meeting over to Lisa as the mayor. Oh, yeah, I have to issue your mayoral. I'm so sorry. There's the point too. There's that. Okay. I, Lisa Atchison, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the City Charter Code of Ordinances for the City of Cedar Springs, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of mayor to the best of my ability.
I will.
All right, you. Uh-oh, it's the sign for me. Now I'm going to turn the meeting over to you. Here you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. It's been great to have, you kind of over the year, the first year, you're kind of getting your feet wet. The second year, you're, getting involved in it a little bit more. And toward the end of the year, I just felt like it kind of clicked a little bit. So I do really appreciate the fact that I get to have a little more time, because I think about the third year, you're ready to kind of reach out and trying to do a few other things and make things happen for the city. And the staff is so wonderful. I mean, they help me any minute I need it. So thank you, everybody. All right, we're on to the public comments. Right? No? Oh, I'm sorry. We need to do roll call.
Mayor Pro Tem.
Oh, yeah, we need a Mayor Pro Tem. I forgot about that. Sorry. I really don't want to do this job without a sidekick. All right. So I will open the floor for nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
I will nominate Renee Brace.
I'll second.
Any other nominations? I will close the floor for nominations and I will take a roll call. Ms. Conley,
Yes.
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Marvel,
Yes.
Mrs. Powell,
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Mrs. Rudy,
Yes.
and Ms. Atchison votes yes. 7-0. Thank you. You ready to be do you want to say anything?
Oh, I think I was wondering
You-
if I'm.
Don't you have to be sworn in?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has to be sworn in. You can't say anything till you're sworn in.
It's a lot of her.
Never had that before. I'm ready. Okay.
Ready?
Yeah.
Renee Brace, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Michigan, the state charter and code of ordinances for the city of Cedar Springs, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of Mayor Pro Tem to the best of my ability. I will.
Now I can-
Okay, let's do roll call. Mrs. Conley,
Here.
Mr. Gross,
Here.
Can you hear me?
Mrs. Powell,
Here.
Mrs. Race,
Here.
Mrs. Rudy,
Here.
Miss Atchison is here. And now we are at the public comment portion of our meeting. The council welcomes and encourages the public to speak during the public comment and public hearing portions of the agenda. However, council policy is to hear the public comment, not to act on the public comment at this time. Concerns brought before the council during the public comment portion of the agenda will be referred to the city manager for action. If after communicating with the city manager, no resolution is reached, the concern will be elevated to the mayor and then eventually to the council for action. Those citizens wishing to speak on agenda and non-agenda items will be allowed a maximum of 4 minutes each to address their concerns. This is the only time during the council meeting that citizens are allowed to address the council. Please state your name and address for the record if you would like. Do we have any public comments online? We don't have any in the room. Okay, we'll move on then. No public hearings. I will ask for a motion for the adoption of the agenda.
I will make a motion to adopt the agenda as presented, assuming there is nothing.
I'll second that.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, the same? Okay. I would like to get a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Madam Mayor.
Mhm.
I'd like to, make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll support that.
All right, let's do a roll call for that one because it has money. Mrs. Rudy,
Yes.
Mrs. Grace,
Yes.
Mrs. Powell,
Yes.
Mr. Marvel,
Yes.
Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mrs. Conley,
Yes.
Miss Atchison votes yes.
My agenda just went away.
Off your thing.
Hmm. Like all the way away? Like all the way away?
To the
I know Google is having a bad hair day. It's not been playing, thank you. It's not been playing well with our Canvas at school and other but I'm told it's a Google thing.
All right, action items. Motion to approve Civic Pulse, or Civic Plus as the mass notification system vendor in an amount not to exceed 3,500 and authorize the assistant city manager to sign the statement of work. Mrs. Falcon, do you want to talk on that?
Or to my assistant city manager, Rebecca. She spearheaded this. Oh,
Yeah, yep. So this was a result of, if you guys remember, about a year ago, we had a boil water advisory. We were working to notify residents and business owners as quickly as possible in those emergency situations. We identified that we need to do a better job of that. We did a good job, but we had areas that we can improve on. So we sought out several different vendors that would allow us to send out notification via text, email, voice, phone call, message, and push notifications through a mobile app. So we demoed 3 different vendors. We have Civic Plus, GoGov, and Text by Gov. All of them are great in each own's right. Our suggestion is to go with Civic Plus. They have the most amount of features, and they are the cheapest vendor as well. So we feel like it would be a good scalable solution for us. So that way we can reach those community members, especially during times of emergencies like boil water advisories or those types of things. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have as well. Yes, Rose.
Who would people be contacted? Do they have to sign up for it?
To sign up. So the vendor does assist us with some marketing materials to get us people to essentially opt into the service. But we would reach out to individuals through their tax bill, water bill, those individuals coming into City Hall, letting them know that the service is available. And we also would like to reach out to the mobile home parks in our community as well, because that's a pocket of users of our system that we do not have contact information for. So we would like to work with those park managers to get those residents signed up, because we only have contact for the account manager, which is unfortunately one person out of many of the people who live in those areas.
How would they be contacted? Text?
Text message, email, push notification, so a mobile app, or they would also have an option to have like a landline called. So it would we would input a message into the system, and it would auto dial those phone numbers and deliver the message in an automated voice essentially. So it especially helps with those individuals who aren't on the computer, who aren't on the website or on Facebook page.
Or have mobile phones?
That was going to be my question. So for the opting in for the landline, so how would they opt in?
Sign up process. And at this point in time, because we haven't selected this vendor, I can't get too much into the details of what that will look like yet. But there's a website that they'll visit. They'll put in their name, their whatever preferred method they would choose.
Have the internet.
And we would be able to help them. Mhm.
Or they could mail it in. Would that be an option? Or
I mean,
just thinking of people who don't have cell phone and maybe can't get into City Hall. Like if we're talking about, my guess is there's, and I'm sure there's not a ton of them, but people that are elderly, disabled, and don't use a cell phone. So that's my.
yeah. I think we can certainly explore additional options if there's any additional suggestions. But I think hitting it on the tax bill, on the water bill, and then, if we have newsletters that go out, making sure that that information is in there as well. So
There's an actual mechanism for signing them up that isn't on the internet. Because it's great if we have the ability to call them, but if you have to sign up online to be able to get a phone call, that could be problematic.
In looking into this plan, we were looking for different ways to get a hold of all the people. And so, maybe we want to say, when we send it out, telling it's available, check with your neighbors, make sure they're on it. If they're not, they tell them there's these options available. and that would help too. So I know it's gonna be a, you know, it's gonna be a long getting it done, but I think it's great that you're looking into it and taking care of it. Cause we did have, people from the public come in and that were worried about it.
Yeah.
So they didn't know when we had the last one and
Like, they just want emergency notifications. They don't want to know about cleanup day and all that, so that is an option. Okay.
You would like to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really neat portal, and it can be done over the phone. So if somebody needs to call into the office and say, I'd like to sign up for mass notification and have my landline enabled, we'll make sure the staff are available to do that for them.
mechanism for if you don't have internet.
It's just getting the message out that it's available and you have to do this, or this to get a hold of somebody to do it for you.
Folks in the trailer park, they don't get a water bill, right?
Yeah, that's what she's talking about.
It's part of the, and they don't get a tax bill.
That's the piece that we would like to work with the park managers to help them pass the message along to those users.
Okay.
This is a service strictly for the citizens or people of Cedar Springs proper, not.
Anyone can sign up for this service. So even if you're outside of the bounds of the city, we don't have an ability to restrict it to only city residents. So some of the notifications may not be applicable to someone who might just, think of an instance where maybe mom lives in the city limits, but daughter doesn't. Daughter can enable those notifications and then ring mom and say, hey, mom, there's a boil water advisory. So, yeah, does that help your question there, Rose?
Yeah.
Okay.
That is awesome. Madam Mayor, I would like to make a motion to approve Civic Plus as the mass notification system vendor in an amount not to exceed $3,500 and authorize the assistant city manager to sign the statement of work.
I'll second that.
All right. Mrs. Conley.
Yeah.
Mr. Gross.
Yeah.
Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mrs. Race.
Yes.
Mrs. Rudy.
Yes.
Miss Atchison votes yes, 7-0. Okay, moving on. Motion to approve resolution 2025-23, a resolution to adopt the 2025 recommendation of the Cedar Springs Local Officers Compensation Committee.
So every other year, the local officers compensation committee meets and they discuss compensation for the city council. They have changed things up this year. Hopefully you've had a chance to read through this in your packet because it is different than what we're doing now. So I'm just going to read what they're proposing it to be. Each council member of the city of Cedar Springs shall receive compensation based solely on meeting attendance, rated twice annually in June and December. Compensation rates: each council member shall receive $116 for each regular or special council meeting physically attended. The mayor will receive $150 for each regular or special meeting attended. Attendance requirement: council members and the mayor shall be eligible for compensation only for meetings attended. Absences formally excused by the city council shall be considered present for purposes of attendance calculation. Compensation will not be provided for unexcused absences. Compensation will be dispersed twice annually in June and December following verification of meeting attendance. What do you think?
Sounds good to me.
I don't think it's much, that much difference. Is that?
Well, then, based on what they're saying, it's any scheduled meeting.
Yeah.
So our special meetings and so forth, where we didn't before, they're suggesting it is. I personally am not here for the pay, but whatever they decide to do is fine. That's not my reason for being here, so.
Any other comments? Discussion? All right. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025-23, a resolution to adopt the 2025 recommendations of the Cedar Springs Local Officers Compensation Committee.
Right. Mrs. Rudy. Mrs. Race.
Yes.
Mrs. Powell.
Yes.
Mr. Marvel.
Yes.
Mr. Grove.
Yes.
Mrs. Conley.
Yes.
Mrs. Ashton. All right, motion to approve night watch quote for the purchase of 1 security camera and to relocate 2 cameras from the current city hall to 130 Muskegon Street in the amount not to exceed $10,944.10. Mrs. Falcon.
So we had, in August of 2024, the council approved, we need security cameras in the city. I think they've done a really good job of deterring crime and finding criminals that have vandalized our property. Unfortunately, yes, that's happened. So just planning for the new building, the 2 cameras we currently have here won't cover the new location. So we will need to secure 1 more camera. And then with this quote, they will, when the time is right, move the 2 that we have here to the new building and then make sure our grounds are covered and the voting box for absentee ballots. So at first I thought it was kind of high, but then I'm like, oh, but then they're going to move the 2 and make sure we're all set over there. I think it's well worth it.
Isn't the voting box one that we currently don't have that we need to have?
Yeah.
Yep. So currently we are grandfathered in until, let's see what the date is, January 1 of 2026. We were grandfathered in because we had not moved or changed the drop boxes since they've been installed. However, that sunset expires January 1 of 2026. So we do have cameras on these boxes to be compliant January 1 of 2026. And then we would need to move the cameras to the new building to remain compliant.
We were basically grandfathered until we moved, at which point we would have to have them. So, but I just was kind of trying to say that that's currently cameras we don't have that would be a piece of this price tag that is like federally required for protecting people's right to vote.
Well, the 2 we have here, we could move there and we could be compliant on that voting box. But we wouldn't have like coverage on 2 other sides of the building, so.
It's also problematic.
Any other questions?
One question, 3 sufficient? We need 1 on the back of the building?
The cameras themselves have more than 1 camera in the dome. So when we say we're buying 1 camera, it's 1 unit, but there's multiple cameras in there.
Okay, but if you mount 1 in the front, and you mount 1 on each side, how do they go around the corner to watch the back?
The Night Watch came and put something, whatever, so they could see. So they would have coverage all along the back, DPW fenced in area. The other 2 are in the front-ish, but those cameras inside get like 360 degrees coverage?
270, I think.
270, okay,
Close to it.
yeah.
Well, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure we had full coverage.
Yes.
Or close to, so, okay.
Full coverage.
But yeah.
Madam Mayor, I will make a motion to approve Resolution 2025-23, a resolution to adopt the 2025 recommendation of the Cedar Springs. Oh, right, sorry, went down 1. Where's the cameras? Motion to approve Night Watch quote for the purchase of 1 security camera and to relocate 2 cameras from the current City Hall to 130 Muskegon Street in the amount not to exceed $10,944.10.
I'll support that.
Mrs. Conley, Mr. Gross,
Yes.
Mr. Marvel,
Yes.
Mrs. Powell,
Yes.
Mrs. Race.
Yes.
Mrs. Ruby.
Yes.
Yes, passes 7-0. Yes, sir.
I'd like to ask the manager a question. We had a late arrival to the board meeting. Would we give him some time to speak if he has something he would like to say at this point in time?
I'm fine with that if you are.
For public comment today? No, you just showed up to see our wonderful faces? Okay. Oh, okay.
The opportunity if that was the case.
Thank you.
Just with your therapist.
All right, I think we're moving on to discussion items. Budget review. Emily?
So that's me. She can add if she'd like. I felt really bad last month when I missed the Doug, our auditor, doing the presentation on the audit. I'm really proud of Emily there's a lot of work that goes into preparing for the audit, and I'm sure Doug did a fantastic job of his presentation. There's just one thing I wanted to bring to your attention. The city has had, since I've been hired and probably well before, a minimum requirement of 20% in unassigned fund balance in the general fund. And our audit as of June 30, 2025, we no longer have that 20%. We're down to 5%. And we had a decrease in the general fund balance last year in the amount of $779,000. That's a big chunk of money. And I think we all know why that happened, the lawsuit that we went through. We had no choice. But I want to assure you that, I was the finance director. I take numbers very seriously. As manager, I still do, and so does my staff. I've already met with my department heads. We've identified projects that are already completed for the year where we have some cost savings. Typically, we put money back into the fund balance, unassigned fund balance every year. We have since 2016 when I came here. Last year, we didn't. This is a large amount. We will probably bring budget amendments to you January timeframe before we start the budget for the new fiscal year. That would get us up, not quite to the 20%. But I just want you guys to all know we are taking this very seriously, and we will get that back to the 20% as soon as we can, because we need that security just as much as we know you guys want that security.
In case there's another
Don't know.
catastrophe. Because that's what it was.
Noted.
Thank you.
But I have confidence. I figured I'd see a change before it's long, because I really have confidence in the people we have in our departments that they would find a way to resolve that issue. And obviously, you're already ahead of it before I get a chance to come in and talk to you about it. So, okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other comments?
Anybody? No?
I mean, just to suture, that was addressed. I mean, they did say, not necessarily how much we're going to make up, but like why we took this big hit. And he did not seem like it was something we should be alarmed or concerned, or that it was somehow not appropriate. So
It's a policy that we are now in violation of, so we just want to acknowledge that. And
being wrong. I mean, you did what you were supposed to do, which is use that money to protect the city in the case of a catastrophe.
Is this ongoing?
no,
Where are we at? They,
they appeal. So we're waiting for oral arguments, and that's anywhere from 6 months to a year. It's in a higher court's hands, but
we need our attorneys for that though?
MML.
filed the brief for us for the appeal and didn't charge us. So that's thankfully where our insurance company was able to help us. They weren't able to help us during the lawsuit itself. But when it goes to an appeal, that's a different level. They were able to help us and they paid to file the brief against the appeal.
Are people suing us? Are they paying somebody to be doing all this appealing?
Unless they get a,
Who's paying that bill?
Again, the taxpayers.
We are.
Well,
I think,
taxpayers are paying it all, okay? Their taxpayers, our taxpayers, because it's coming out of our funds. So it's ultimately taxpayers are paying for all of this.
That make money on this are attorneys. And by the way, we appreciate our attorneys. We're grateful that we have them, but the only people that are making any money on this are attorneys.
Thank you.
Let's move on to the curb bump outs, Mrs. Falcon.
so this comes before you from the planning commission. This one in the next agenda item. When we did our master plan, we kind of had a discussion at planning commission level. I've reached out to this is painting curb bump outs or, putting bollards in them or whatever. That is not in my wheelhouse. So I reached out to our engineers and asked them, for consultation on this. Curb bump outs were installed really to slow down traffic. That was the main point we were hoping for. It shortens the distance for pedestrians to cross the street. Hopefully it reduces accidents. Question was, can curb bump outs be painted? Typically the curb bump outs that are painted are the curbs that are 6 inches tall. Our bump outs are flat. Could we paint them? Yes. I don't know. The engineers don't know how that would help.
And what is the issue?
I'm not really sure. I was just exploring the reason of curb bump outs and it was asked, can we paint the curb bump outs?
Because they're just sticking way out in the road there. So especially when you're making turns and stuff.
Yeah, you can't see them.
Most of the traffic is not paying attention to the depth of them or how deep they go. They're cutting right across them.
Oh.
So unless there's somebody standing there, but I'm not sure additional bump outs are gonna make a difference.
Painting them.
I mean,
Or painting, right?
think
The might. I mean, if they're bright yellow.
Is that,
Though the outline of the piece that sticks out.
People would be a little more cautious if they saw that, oh, there's that yellow line there that, sticking into the road.
Almost like they had to put a signpost there, walkway.
Oh, yeah.
did you,
Going across.
did you see anything on any places that have painted them? Did they, when you were doing your research?
Know of any flat curb bump outs that are painted. He did point out we can put up object markers. But there's they got to be in certain areas, just like the orange things we have on Muskegon Street. They can only be so tall. It's like a black and yellow marked oblong sign. They have to be right locations though, so we'd have to call them here to say, okay, help us do the calculation of where to put them.
MDOT thing, or is that who does that?
This could help us. They have people on staff that know that regulation.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I might just run outside and go look at one, but there's like a little grate thing. What are those things called? Like on the sidewalk?
It's tread.
Yeah. Can't you just paint the tread? Like yellow? So people see it? I mean, it's worth a try, I think, just to paint it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But
Part of the problem is trying to keep people from slipping on it. And that's why they have the tread. It's like putting a rubber mat in a door. When you come in, your feet are wet. You're gonna have more grip walking in than you are walking onto a waxed floor. And that's kind of where it's at there. It makes less of a slip hazard. And that's why they put them in there. That's what I've been told anyway.
Required, I know that. ADA, mm-hmm.
They're hard to see when it's snowing and there's snow on.
That's what I thought, they're blind.
How expensive would it be to just paint them and see what happened with, you know?
I need to take, what are you requesting? I'll pass it by our engineers, get prices and,
Putting any kind of post or ballards there because people are gonna hit them and then
Yeah.
it's gonna be costly and so I think painting is easy, inexpensive, and it's worth a try. That's my opinion though.
pieces painted,
Yeah.
not the outline of the curb.
A thing, ADA. If you paint those, like Jerry said, you now make them slippery. And if you're trying to roll over those with a wheelchair, if you're trying to get across them with a walker, they're now slippery. They no longer grip.
Some kind of paint out there that is ADA compliant that at least Fishback can look into for us though.
But
The road needs to be painted yellow.
would advocate.
That's what I meant too. I mean,
The thing that people need to see driving through. Maybe gawking around, they'll say, oh, there's that yellow spot or bump out or caution, whatever.
I don't know why they always make them like a rust color. They should be like bright yellow.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
the lights of the car at night.
Reflective.
Like reflective.
Just like you do for like roads. I mean, that's
What we can do and what they recommend and see if anybody else has it, you know, and how it's worked for them.
I think from the planning commission's perspective though, I mean, we've heard multiple people give suggestions on that.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. They're kind of out there. They're just a new thing with the road that after it was done and people just don't know how to adapt to it. So.
There's got to be somebody out there has done something, you know, if it's that bad of a problem.
To me, it still comes down to the drivers.
Oh, yeah. That's what I said. Mhm.
Doesn't matter what you put there, they're gonna run up and over it, so.
Yeah. Well, all we can do is try and see what we can do to. All right, now we're at speed limit on Main Street, Mrs. Falcon.
So is the other topic that comes out of planning commission. So this one, Sergeant Paulson and I kind of tag teamed this one. John contacted the Kent County Road Commission Traffic and Safety Division. We could do a traffic study. We could put the lines over Main Street at a couple different locations and get the data of how fast cars are going in certain locations. But there is a caution to that. If the speed limit is set at the 85th percentile. So if we do a traffic study and it could come out that the speed limit should be 35.
So what? People want it lowered?
Lower.
Okay. And it's 25.
Yeah, so maybe
With
John-
town, 25.
what the road commission.
Yeah, so with the speed limit right now being 25 miles an hour, obviously the consideration here, do we lower it and what does that mean? So the 85th percentile thing that was mentioned here is that's how they determine what to set the speed limit at any given roadway. I'm just going to read what he said to me because it makes more sense if I just read it verbatim here. The 85th percentile speed is the speed at or below which 85% of the observed traffic is moving. So setting a speed limit that aligns with the speeds at which the majority, the 85% of the motorists, are traveling reduces the speed differential among vehicles because that's what the majority of the drivers are going to be driving. Studies have shown that the greater the speed differential between vehicles, the greater the risk of crashes. So that's one other thing he mentioned is lowering the speed limit doesn't always make it safer. He said reducing the speed limit along a corridor does not definitively make that road safer. And he said, studies have shown the majority of motorists travel at speeds they feel are safe and reasonable for the conditions of the given road. They do not alter their speed to conform to a reduced speed limit they perceive as unreasonable for the corridor's prevailing conditions. So that's one thing to take into consideration. He gave an example too. He said that they just did a speed study just north of Muskegon on a main street, very similar to the one here in town. And that 85th percentile number was 33. So they almost had to set the speed limit at 30 miles an hour to conform to that. So that's the issue you may run into if you do a speed study on Main Street. It may justify the 25 mile an hour, or it may require you to bump it up to 30. Or who knows?
I cannot imagine a world where we're going to get 15.
Well, and that's the other thing too. He pointed me to another MCL. The law generally says along business districts, the minimum speed limit has to be 25 at least. So he was under the impression that we may not even be able to lower it any less than 25.
I think I could be wrong. I'm reaching. This is Jerry Hall in my ear. So if it's a primarily pedestrian walkway, but not exclusively pedestrian, you can have a speed limit below 25. Is that my understanding?
It's in the MCL, and it gave like basically like parks and non-public roadways.
Predominantly pedestrian, but not exclusively pedestrian. So you can have a vehicle, and you'll see that for like drive-throughs coming to schools and
Mobile home parks, they'll have a lower speed. Yeah.
In most mobile home parks, those roadways are private anyway. So when they're private, you can set the speed limit to what you think is reasonable, and it doesn't have to be done by a speed study.
So there's a couple things we were going to recommend. We have a speed limit sign that we can definitely move to Main Street. The
Yep.
Road Commission, we could buy, or no.
Sheriff's Department also have one, and it's that one that flashes red and blue when you go over whatever speed you set it at. So.
And one at the other for a while, just to let people know, hey, we're kind of watching you.
tell me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the problem isn't that it's people are driving 25 miles an hour. The problem is people are not driving 25 miles an hour. They're driving faster than 25 miles an hour. So trying to drop it to 15 isn't going to solve the problem. Trying to enforce 25, and by enforce, I don't mean like write tickets. I mean, say, hello, big lights, you're going 40.
Officers to start over and give warnings.
Yeah.
Or
More problem than not, that's the time that we would enforce. That's the time that we would focus on being proactive and visible on Main Street too. So.
The one thing that concerns me is quite often you see a double bottom semi barreling through town. There's just no way in the world that semi with two loads could stop. And
You're not wrong.
we need to kind of let the companies know that those guys need to slow down coming through town.
Yeah, I agree. We'll be on the lookout for that, and if we do notice a certain company, we can address it with their other higher ups too.
I mean, I'm thinking that I don't think we need it any lower than 25. I just think people need to drive 25.
Agreed.
Say what it is. Yeah.
So what we need to do is figure out how to encourage people to drive 25.
When I was in Sparta, they had like little statues or whatever on Main Street in Sparta. And that's a big traffic area. Little guys, I don't know, we looked at them before. Yeah.
With the flag, you mean?
Yes. They're walking.
Look like. That's it.
I thought they were very effective. Yeah.
The braid down there. Looks good in green. And his red hair.
You could get you a green outfit and
But I don't know what rules you have to go by with that, but it was very effective. They catch your eye right away.
And they said 25 miles per hour or what?
Like little men or little guys or something standing there like, I don't know. I can't remember. It's been like 6 months ago. I just caught my eye right away. But they're in the magazines and stuff we looked at in the past.
I'm sure the sergeant will confirm it. Anything will work for a little bit, for a while. People become accustomed to it. Don't go right now, do their same old routines. So,
I think a good place to start is just proactive patrol on Main Street. I'll give the guys directives. Like I said, if it's a day shift problem, I'll let the day shifters know to park where they're seen, and not necessarily writing tickets is always the answer, but just being seen out there, making traffic stops, giving warnings, and people talk on the Inform page and on Facebook and stuff. So I think that's
Yes, they do.
We need a sign that says, dude, it's 25.
The one in Sand Lake had to come in, it's like, slow down, and it's not a big sign, but it says slow down.
Problem is people always, it says speed limit 25 and they always add 5. Oh, so that's part of the problem. Yeah, 9. Yeah.
we have if you've ever driven US 1 going down through the Florida Keys, they have signs that will say like approaching Deer Key, please reduce speed to. I don't know if that's, I've seen them coming into other towns in Michigan where it'll say approaching such and such town, please reduce speed. I don't know if that's something that
When they're changing, is there a reduce, like on Pine, you know, when you're coming from White Creek, it does tell you that the speed limit is going to change. I don't know how many times I've like started to slow down and then somebody zips by me. You know, it's yeah. And they just pass me and fly through. But yeah, I know. I think they probably do have a reduced speed sign like coming up.
to Lakeview on that. I mean, but I drive to Lakeview like a lot and I've never seen one.
I'll have to look and see exactly what's out there and how visible it is and what exactly it says. And maybe that's something we can look into too.
I'm pretty sure there isn't one coming from the Beltline, like coming up that way. I've driven that a lot.
And then it goes to 25.
There's a school zone,
Yeah.
but that's not right. But that's like during certain times but not for the city. Not like you're approaching the city limits.
45, and then once you get into like where the car wash is, then there's a 25-mile-an-hour zone there.
Doesn't tell you it's going to drop to 25.
Yeah, I don't think it does.
It's just right. That's
Yeah,
exactly-
that's a 20-mile-an-hour reduction right there. Abruptly, so.
let's face people, if they've gone in and they've done their licensing and everything, they know if you're approaching a community, the traffic's gonna slow down. The people are gonna ignore it, that are going to ignore it.
Yep.
You can be driving 25 mile down the main street here and have cars all backed up behind you simply because they can't believe you're driving 25. They just take it for granted we can drive faster and get through it. And the 80th percentile, for a while, a long time ago, I rode with the city police. 5-year fine, 7-year mine. And if you were lucky, you did it at 7, it might be 8 or 9-year mine. And that was why. So you would know they were speeding, even if we had them on radar. But it was just something that was taken as, if you did it, you'd be sitting there all day long. You know, which may not be a bad deal either. The more you have pulled over, the more they begin to think, you know, so if he's, you know, there's an increased presence, like you said, if there's few more get ticketed, all of a sudden people begin to get a message.
You know that there's towns too where they enforce their, I mean, as a person who drove from Lakeview to Mount Pleasant every day, 6 days a week for 6 years, there's certain towns, I won't say who any of them are, but you go, you better not be speeding when you go through there. And we are a through, if you live here, you don't necessarily know it, but this is Old 131. And this is the Beltline. I mean, I tell my students all the time when they're like, you drive all the way from Cedar Springs? I'm like, I live 4 blocks off the Beltline. It's just north. So if you're driving through, like you don't, oh, do I really have to slow down? Is this like an actual town? So, I mean, yes, it's a town, but if we don't have signs that tell you, like a lot,
That would be a good idea then. Let's move on. I think we can move on, right? Communications, do we have anything we need to highlight?
Nope.
All right, department reports. City manager, Mrs. Falcon.
I'm very excited to talk about the new city hall. It's really exciting. We get pictures every day of what is happening over there, and it's a lot. There's like 10 contractors at the same time doing necessary work over there. So kudos to Cam Denny, our on-site general manager. He's doing a great job of keeping the work moving. We are on schedule for a April 2026 move-in date, so very exciting. It's a fun project to be a part of. So saw Fox 17 News a couple weeks ago. The state of Michigan announced we're all going to get additional Act 51 money for our roads. For us, that's roughly $156,000 more. We currently get about 460 split between Major Street and Local Street. So another 156 based on the that we just got done, 156,000 could do maybe 3 more blocks. So, yeah.
ew. So that seems
That's good. Anything helps, you know?
Engineers here shortly to start planning for 26, 27 paving projects. So I got to get them engineered ahead of time and so we can get them bid out.
Right now. What's happening with Pine Street?
We redid it from Main Street to the White Pine Trail. Yes. Yeah.
It didn't take very long. It was fast. Yeah.
Back and redid that section and Maple from Main Street to the White Pine Trail.
Well, the road closed sign was still there, so I didn't know if it was done
The
right
next
in
year.
my driveway. Yeah.
There's an extra elect sign.
Yeah, it's down now.
I saw that. It was time to take your sign down.
Them and sometimes it takes them a while to come and get them. What else do I have? We had an RFP process out to sell this building and the building next to this City Hall. We received 1 bid for the building next door. But I've already reached out to a couple people. I gave a tour to both buildings to several people, and I've reached back out to them. In the RFP, we said minimum bid, X amount. And if they didn't want to bid that, then they didn't submit anything. Well, we'll consider any bids. So I think we'll have to, put it back out for 30 days or something and saying, if you're interested, please submit a bid so we can know how many people are interested. And I don't think we're in a hurry to sell either building. Like today, we have time. So I'm not concerned. So the more we get in, the
bond on these, right? I mean, they're give me strength. They're paid for. They might not be amazing, but we own them. So, I mean, that's not a piece of it.
No. So when we have something ready for you guys to act on, we'll bring it to you. And I just wanted to congratulate Rebecca, my new assistant city manager. She completed the Certified Public Manager program through Saginaw Valley State University. Well done. Thank you. Good job, Rebecca. All on her own on Fridays for how many months?
10 months.
10 months. And had projects due and so much. That shows your dedication to the city and your job and yeah, thank you. That's all I have.
Assistant City Manager, Mrs. Johnson.
So this last month, we've been busy with a few different things. Those mass notification demos that you guys approved of tonight, we'll get that rolling. We're anticipating probably 6 to 8 weeks for rollout on that. So we're going to aim by January 1 to get that up and running, rolling out. So we'll work on that. And then I did want to give you guys an update on the Elmwood Cemetery crash that we had. So it took us to dig into that and work through our insurance to recoup those losses. And one of the struggles was the age of the cemetery stones that was damaged out there. So we were able to recoup the cost of getting a new headstone for the one that was damaged out there, because we did not have contact information for the families that in that section. They're just far too old. So we were able to do that. So Tanya has that on order. That's been taken care of. And then we also have all of our losses recouped on that as well. So glad to have that taken care of. And so that way, if, family members ever come out to visit those spaces, they see what looked similar to was there before. So
That are not family members that just come to because we have Memorial Day services and if we have broken gravestones, that looks terrible.
glad to have that update for you guys. And then additionally, like Darla said, we've been working on City Hall projects as well. That includes furniture, AV, IT needs. So all of those pieces of the puzzle are things that we're working on in the background as well.
Tanya from Public Works, are you on?
Yes. Good evening. So for the month of October, the Department of Public Works has taken down the flowers on Main Street, removed the flannels downtown, put up and took down the barricades for the Red Flannel Festival, removed trash and cleaned up the downtown sidewalks after the Red Flannel, started leaf cleanup. We finished the project at the Heart of Cedar. I think myself, that looks very, very nice down there. Milled and paved Maple Street from the White Pine Trail to Main Street, and the same with Pine Street. Did some maintenance on vehicles and put up and took down the barricades for the trunk or treat that we had downtown. Then we started cleaning up the cemetery and poured foundations. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Law Enforcement Sergeant Paulson.
Just to go along with the conversation we had earlier about the city cameras, the sheriff's department has added a new division recently. Historically, it was law enforcement, corrections, records unit, investigative unit. Now we have a fifth division. It's the real-time crime center. It's a room about this big at the sheriff's department downtown. One really cool thing that they've done recently is they've come here to Cedar Springs and they've integrated all of our cameras in Cedar Springs to that room. So there's a whole wall of big screen TVs in that room. If we have a crime in Cedar Springs, an armed robbery or something that needs to be addressed immediately, we have full-time sworn personnel in that room. They can pull up all of our cameras live and they can give us live updates. Like our suspect vehicle just went south on Main Street. We saw it from the City Hall camera or whatever the case may be. But that came to no additional cost to the city of Cedar Springs, but that's another way that we're really, really going to use those cameras to their fullest. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. We're watching you.
Well, that's
Thank you. Fire Department, Chief Detla.
It's been a good October, as always. Red Flannel, Halloween, we did all with that. I do want to thank Jerry Gross and his family. They donated quite a few bags of candy for
for the fire department going through. So thank you. Do appreciate that. I do have 2 firefighters that are actually retiring this year. One was Brian Jenkins. He was on for 18 and a half years. He was captain. And then Chuck Haynes, he was on for 25 years. We went through that. And as most of the time, most of them don't want recognition. So they don't like going through all of this stuff and get into it. That's not the reason they do it. But I just want to thank them. So that's it.
City clerk. Mrs. It's DeSess? I'll get it one of these times.
So I just wanted to report, we obviously had the November election. That wrapped up well. I received notification today that we were not selected for an audit, so I was happy about that since we were just audited in August. That was good news. I also did want to let you guys know that we secured the Kent County North Sub with John's help, thank you, for the May election if we need it, with the fact that we have a move and we don't know what's going to happen with this building if it sells, and the other building may not be ready in time for us to notice the new change of address and all that kind of stuff. We were just a little bit concerned about that piece of the puzzle if we have a May election. So met with John, he reached out, and we have the room tentatively scheduled if we do need it. So wanted to let you all know that. And then yesterday, Rebecca and I led a meeting with the department heads to discuss some record retention. So if any of you know anything about record retention, it is a little strenuous and can be very detailed. And so I wanted to thank the staff for their involvement in that and their involvement going forward, because it is going to be a process and a little painstaking for all of us, but it is something that is very important. And as you guys all know, very long overdue for the city, and we want to make sure that we're doing it right. So wanted to let you all know about that as well. And that's it.
Madam Mayor, can I just make a comment? So I have a relatively newly minted voter in my household who also has a disability. And he came in with his ID and filled out his absentee application to also get it for that day, and then to also get it going forward in the mail. And she was just the most wonderful and professional, and he felt so just like 100 feet tall to sign his name and be there to get to vote. And then we came up and he very much needed to drop it in the Dropbox. He asked me to take a picture of him dropping it in the Dropbox. So I just want you all to know that it's a very painless process, and you will feel really great if you come up and talk to April, and she will get you hooked up so you can vote always. And you can fill it out in your kitchen, and you can get a family member to take your picture at the Dropbox if that's a thing. So just wanted to say that was really fabulous, because my first experience voting at 18 was not like that. So thank you for that.
Thanks. Finance Director, Mrs. Landon.
Yeah, so I am gearing up for winter tax billing. So bills will be, I know you're all super excited. So they'll be mailed out in about 2 weeks towards the end of the month, and payable starting December 1st. So you got that to look forward to. I've been working on annual reporting that was due with our fiscal year end in June. So now that the audit is done, there's some annual reports that have to be done. So I've gotten a few knocked off the list, and I've got a couple more that need to be completed by year end. So those are moving along. And then, as Darla had mentioned, we have some upcoming budget amendments that we're kind of monitoring at the moment, and then we'll get those set for probably the January meeting to formally make those amendments. And that's all I got tonight.
Okay, thank you. Do you have anything from building inspection or code enforcement? Okay. We got in your packet, it looks like there's a Cedar Springs Parks and Recreation minutes. Health comments. Let's start with Mrs. Powell.
Oh,
Well, I'm glad to be back, 4 more years. I'm sorry to see Mike Maxim leave. I thought he was a great asset to the board. And, I guess we should just carry on and keep doing the right thing that we've always tried to do from this point on. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Marble?
Great meeting and welcome back. I think you're very intelligent and you have lots of great ideas for the city. So I'm glad you're sitting by me. So, and just a little. I remember a citizen had an idea. I don't remember who it was, but just to put a little idea in your guys' ears for the budget next year. They had the idea of putting a permanent sign up when you're coming into Cedar Springs. Because the road commission always puts their things up there where for when Main Street's closed and all that. But if we could actually build something permanent there, and I think it kind of goes with the discussion we've been having tonight with speed limits and boil water advisories or whatever, that it's a board, you know. So I don't know, that's kind of an idea. Yes.
Message sign? Okay.
Yeah. You know, because the road commission puts their thing up there and it kind of looks not great with the traffic cones around it. But we have enough events now with the Cedar Springs Chamber of Commerce and what they do that there's always a message to go out. So
City Hall?
yes.
Yeah.
I think that's great. So that's great that we do it on that road, but I think we can put one even on Main Street too as people are coming in. So with that, yeah, thank you guys and thank you guys for all that you do. So
Wanted to say it's exciting to be on the board and I can't wait for the next year is coming up soon. And welcome. Yep. And thank you for everything you all do. It's amazing. Are you ready, Mr. Gauss?
I'm always ready. Okay. I'm also happy to have Rose back. She has a wealth of knowledge that she can bring and present, follow through with things in the past. And I think when you have people with consistency on the board for a period of time, they all bring their own strength and their values. And they begin to work together, may disagree at times, but through discussion, you can work it out through most of anything. Again, I'm so happy that we have the people working here in the offices that we have. It's just a great group of people. There's a continuity and a fluidity that hadn't been seen for quite a while. And I appreciate it. Okay. I'd like to make a comment on the two gentlemen that are retiring from the fire department. Had the opportunity to work with them for a long time. They were of value to the department. And one of the things that I always felt that was missing is that they are kind of a strange group to the township, or the township, sorry, work with too many townships, with the city, is they're just kind of there and they're not recognized all of the time. I would love to see a certificate or something coming from the city, whether it's through the board, whether it's through the city manager, of appreciation for years of service and completion. I know that it's not an easy situation to stand up in front of people and get those, but I think it's necessary and it should be done. Okay, just to be recognized for those years of service. So if that's something you could throw together and possibly get them in here in a month.
We asked them to come tonight and they said, no, thank you.
Okay.
But we'll definitely still get them.
I know them both.
Yeah.
I know where they both live. So, okay, so.
For cookies or?
Department did it for them.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's the department. That's like the DPW giving an award to somebody in the DPW. Means something from the city that says thank you for all these years of service. At a minimal pay, if you're paid at all for a lot of the services you provide. So, and it's there's a lot more hours committed than they're ever paid for. So, and you don't ever hear them coming down here hollering they need a raise. So, what they're worth is not what we can afford. So, but, appreciate it greatly.
Stand to, as with Chief Fraser, it takes time.
Yeah.
Just understand, it's not that it's gone, it will still happen.
So, okay, that's it.
Conley.
Yay on the election. As I said, that's huge. That's like one of our absolute critical things that we as a city council are obligated to make happen. And you make us look good. And Madam Mayor, we had quite a time with candy. I think we gave out 45 pounds between the two of us. I bought 30 pounds from Costco.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, I feel like you had more because I bought those 5-pound bags, and
I had gone through like 3 or 4 before you even got here.
like go back into your car and find like Little Debbie's snack cakes, and we
I'm like 5 more pieces. I mean, I gave every single piece out.
my purse. Do I have some left from students? I mean,
Pretty soon, $1 probably.
but by the way, again, huge thing because we close off Main Street. So it is a safe place we saw every mode of transportation, every wagon, every stroller, every wheelchair, every walker, everything. We saw families dressed up from including like grandma and grandpa all the way down to little tiny toddlers. We saw infants. We were digging for the gummy bears to make sure that we didn't give candy that you can't eat. If Dad would say, that's okay, I'll take it. So I think it's a really important. Oh, and the fire pit. We turned it on twice, I think, because
Gathering around it and stuff. So it was good. Yeah. Yeah.
we were like, okay, we're done. We're out of candy. We're gonna turn it off. And people came and say, can you just turn it on for a little bit while you're packing up? So that was just a lovely thing. And I think it's important that we do this as a city. I think it's important for our community, especially if we want people to do this who are disabled, because you don't have to walk big, long chunks of space. If you want people to do it with people of all ages, to be able to do it it's very important that we continue to do this. And I will buy more candy next year. But I do, and thank you, Madam Mayor, for doing that with me and buying a lot of candy.
Mrs. Rice.
Just like to thank everyone for nominating me for Pro Tem again this year. I think we do well together, and just enjoy being here with all of you. Thank you all for doing what you do. Congratulations on your certificate. That's a huge accomplishment, especially working full time. And being able to do that's a huge honor. So I appreciate that. And that's pretty much all I got.
I just want to thank everybody again for having faith in me as the mayor. It's fun. It's really getting really good. I'm enjoying the education we've been having too. We've done a lot of educational classes. So doing the MML education is nice. So I invite all of you council members when it comes up again to go, and we'll get that out pretty soon because it's coming up, isn't it? And basically that's it. I think, and I really do enjoy the events that we do, and thank you, Perry, for doing a lot of them, and you're always running around, so I really appreciate it. You make Cedar what it is.
I think there's more of one of you. I feel like there's more than
Yeah,
one
I
of
think
you.
he's cloned.
I just
yeah,
thought
and-
on another.
So fast. You're so fast.
Did you want to like, I mean, I don't want to take over, Madam Mayor, but did you want to put in like a 25-second plug for the lighting for the?
Are you gonna do that?
Sure. He sent me an email.
Good. Okay, good.
It's
Got that.
it's been a yeah. I don't know if I do, but you got people to do that. That's not the speech you asked me for. But I got you.
Excuse me. Go ahead, Perry, if you would like to finish.
And so that people know it's happening and they can listen.
Look, I'm sorry.
Message. So we're honoring June Maybe and Niels Anderson. The one that has passed for more than 10 years ago, and June for the one that's less than 10 years. Because we want to emphasize on those that have done things for the community that were in the background that didn't always put their name on what they did.
Time 6 o'clock at Heritage Park.
One day? Oh.
This Saturday, which is November 22nd.
Oh my God.
Okay, we're dismissed. Dismissed.